Alright, hello guys, and we're back with another Dark Souls 3 stream. Today we're actually going to be doing something quite different, and it'll probably be more of an episodic type thing. We're going to be doing a new character. Today we'll just be handling the creation and maybe just the initial first stages of making a new character. I'll be bringing up some points about how to really optimize a build as we go through and how to get the most out of a strength build with respect to quest lines. There are a lot of great walkthrough videos out there that tell you about how to get the most, getting the most from the items in the maps, but not really many of them talk about all of the different quest lines and how to not mess up most of them. You aren't really able to do every single quest, as some of them oppose each other, but there is a way to get the most out of quest lines, and we'll be trying to do that in this playthrough. Hopefully we don't die too much, but it is sort of something that won't be something I can't totally avoid, as I am not the greatest player of all time. I'm just doing this for fun, so let's all remember that we're doing this for fun. If anybody has any comments, go ahead. Gonna continue to get things set up here. Last time we talked about how I wasn't going to really be using the chat window too much. I wanted to have it on another device, especially because this is going to be playthrough. I don't really want to skip too many cutscenes, so we're just going to sort of jump right into this with a new character.
Yes, indeed. It is called lottery, where the transitory lands of the Lords of Cinder converge. In venturing north, pilgrims discover the truth of the old words. The fire fades, and the lords go without thrones. When the link of fire is threatened,
All right, so we're gonna just go straight into the character creation here. I mentioned in the description, this is just gonna basically be a strength build. It's been a long time since I've just done a strength build. It was the first build I ever did in Dark Souls 3, which was the first FromSoft game I ever played. So it'll just be incredibly nostalgic for me to just go back through everything with one of my personal favorites. The first strength build I ever made, I kind of ruined because I brought it to a level 182, which, you know, isn't really much of a build anymore as you kind of have everything. So we're going to try to keep this in between level 110 and level 133. Don't really want to go too far past that or too far under that. But we do want to try to stay inside of the recommended soul level ranges, and I will be bringing that up as we go through each area. You can be off a little bit. It just, you know, if you want to maximize the most out of your PvP interactions, then you do want to stay inside of your soul level ranges. So as we hit each area, I'll kind of talk about what those ranges are. Don't really care too much about what the name's going to be. Might even just put in something silly, as I did delete another silly character to make the slot for this one. So I think we're going to go with Stronk. Bonk. Yep. I'm not going to think about that too much. We're just going to go with it. Now, the actual class that we want to do with this, there's a couple that work really, really well for strength builds. I mean, Knights kind of work great for everything. Mercenary, if you wanted to, at some point, swing it into an intelligence build, you could do that. Warrior probably works the best if you just want strength fast, but you don't really start with much faith, intelligence, or dexterity. And you have a relatively low attunement, so you can't really do too much in the way of magic. Personally, Knight sort of is the best template, so we're going to start with that. The armor that you start with in this class, you usually wouldn't get until early mid-game, so it's just going to be the most beneficial to us, and in a way where we can optimize the class in another way to start with the Knight. Burial Gift is always a toss-up for me between the Life Ring and the Fire Gem's nice because you can get some fire damage in early game, which is very useful against hollow enemies and undead enemies. The Black Fire Bombs are really useful for the first boss. So I think for this one, we will get some regular fire bombs later on. But having a little leeway is nice. I think the Life Ring might give us the most optimization earliest on. So but you know, a cracked Red Eye would be nice to do some early game invasions. It's a very hard choice. Sovereignless Soul, Rusted Gold Coin, kind of useless to go with one of those two. Divine Blessing could be really nice. It could save our butt in a really tricky situation, but I'm going to go with my gut and pick up the Black Fire Bombs just for that first boss fight. Hopefully that'll help us get through it quicker. As far as the face presets go, in fact, might just load a favorite. Yeah, we got some silly ones in here. We'll load a favorite, and we'll mess with it a little bit. So he's a strong bonk. So he's just going to be absolutely massive. He's going to be a big, big boy. Remember, guys, don't forget to skip leg day. Make sure you do your leg day. All right. Here. Yeah. Probably won't mess with anything else too much. Why not? Give him an absolutely crazy beard. Beard. I know. Just max out everything. Not maxing out everything. That's what we want. Now, that'll be cool. That'll be real cool. Great. Stick that there. Always a funny thing to do. Yep. I will go with that one. I never go with that one. Alright, what else is there to do? I don't think you can change his height. Make his head a little bigger. We didn't really mess with that at all. Alright. I think that's pretty good. Not really going to think too much about that name. We're just Strong Bonk. That's just the whole build, guys. Here we go. We'll explain more about it later. And we're here, Cemetery of Ash. It's been a long time since I've, been a small little tiny guy. So we're going to go through. We're just going to kind of go through. Normally, if this was a regular playthrough, I'd be stopping and reading all these messages, but, already done that. So I'm not really going to be explaining how to fight anything. I'm just going to be kind of going through the normal way that I feel works best for sort of grabbing everything the first time you're playing a character. There's plenty of videos out there that explain how to actually play the game. I think there's people that will do that way better than I ever could. So I'm not really going to be focusing too much on that. I'm just going to be grabbing the things that I need Probably we'll be grabbing most everything, but we are going to be taking a close look at all the quest lines and doing as many of them as we can. Ones that will give us items. Items on the ground, you know, they'll be there for us. I'm not too worried about that. I also probably won't be going through every single enemy either. There's a lot of videos, again, that explain really well how to fight every single enemy the most optimized way. Again, that's not what this playthrough is going to be focused on. It's really more about getting the most out of quest lines as a strength build. Get all those little guys out of the way. We should have collected a couple things in that area. Most importantly, we want to make sure we have both of our Ashen Estus flasks. Those are going to be super huge for us. Most everyone should know that, but if you're new, those items are huge. Dark Souls 1, you'll remember that you get that from Oscar. Kind of funny that that corpse back there, if you look at his armor, it looks a lot like Oscar. Get our first real bonfire. Normally you'd get an achievement if this was the first time you were going through this area. We will pick up the rest gesture from sitting at this bonfire. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lower some of the volumes in the start menu. I think it might be a little too loud. If anybody has any problems with the audio, definitely let me know about that, because this is the first sort of stream that I've done like this with the levels this way. I think that'll be better. I wanted to have some of the volumes up for the cutscene, so we'll probably be changing that as we go through. Now, this first time that we go through this area, we're really just kind of trying to grab all the items that are around here. A lot of people, you know, if they're trying to speed run, you'd see them just go right into that door, maybe not even kill all these enemies. All right with farming some of this stuff for now, just to kind of get a feel out for what it's like to be this character again. It's been a long time since I've done a build like this. I'm kind of playing on dex builds a lot more often, so it's sort of different how the mechanics work. Now, you can actually farm these enemies in this area for soul items, the really, really small ones. You can also farm them. Sometimes you get the fire bombs, which is nice for the boss fight that is coming up next. Double check our inventory, make sure we have everything on there that we want. So we actually want to change the order of some of this around, because it could be a little bit more optimized. Rather have that first. Use these if I absolutely had to. Really all we have in there that we can put. So sort of at this point you could either head right through the boss, or you could just kind of farm these guys for a little bit. So we're just gonna, you know, maybe see what it goes like. Sort of get a feel for the character a little bit before we just run in there. Definitely punishing going from a meta character right back to a brand new character. Although these enemies are quite slow, so at the same time it's kind of whatever. And pretty much just wait for them to do anything and get backstabs for free. So now we're gonna go for the first boss. This time he will not be immediately hating us. We will have to interact with him just a little bit. Remove the sword. We'll need this later. And time for fun. Will have to say that is a very close fight every time. But we take him down first try, because the knight is absolutely OP. And we'll get our second bonfire. You know, I would be remiss to say if my heart wasn't beating very quickly after that fight. You know, it was very funny. Recently I saw a video where they basically just took a lot of Gundyrs and they just threw them. They absolutely threw them at Gale, and they tried to see how many Gundyrs it would take to take down Gale, and it was amazing to... It took so many of them. It took absolutely so many of them. So it's kind of like, you know, if we can kill Gale, we should be able to kill Gundyr, even as this little guy. Alright, so now we're going to proceed through, having taken Gundyr out. We'll make sure we grab sort of all these items as we go through. Now, there are more areas that I might skip. That's because I don't really need to see them right now. I'll be doing that later. I know a lot of people are saying, why didn't you fight the Crystal Lizard? I'm going to come back for that. I just don't think it was optimized to have that wear down our resources before we went for Gundyr. We really wanted to have that next bonfire. So now we're just kind of hitting all these little small areas that I know have at least some enemies or items. Some of these things come into play later. Yeah, there's already an NPC that we are going in the opposite direction of. We'll deal with him later. I'm going to save that for perhaps after we do Firelink. But for now, I just kind of want to hit the perimeter, take a little quick look around, refresh myself, grab some easy items. Alright, and with that, we hit Firelink Shrine. This is the central hub to pretty much the rest of the game. NPCs, quest lines, main storyline, events, everything's kind of centered here. So I'm not going to be taking too much time to explain every single little thing, but questline oriented aspects of Firelink I will be spending some time on. Other aspects of build making I'll be discussing here. So you'll probably see this area quite a bit through this set of videos. Just going to kind of take a look around, familiarize ourselves with the area. As we go through, you're going to want to sort of recheck everything. I know it can be very annoying to kind of keep doing the same thing over and over again, but Firelink does change, and usually you're rewarded for continuing the repeated process of coming back here and checking things. Maybe spend a couple times just seeing if we can get this. You know, a lot of people do say that taking all your armor off makes it easier. Definitely helps. I'm a little bit lazy right now, so I'm only going to do this a couple more times. After that, I probably won't do the tree jump. We'll try one time with just no armor. Why not? Oh, close. A mini game in the game. Ah. So close. Alright. I'm too impatient for this. We'll get that another time. I was really hoping that there'd be a seed, but, you know, kind of have to kill an invader for that. Over here, it's not really anything if I remember correctly. Really anything.
Ah, another one roused from the sleep of death. Well, you're not alone. We unkindled are worthless. Can't even die right. Gives me conniptions. And they'd have us seek the lords of Cinder and return them to their moulding thrones. But we're talking true legends with the metal to link the fire. Not fit to lick their boots.
Thanks, bro.
Don't you think?
Interesting lad, this one. Alright, we're definitely going to talk to the Firekeeper.
Welcome to the bonfire, unkindled one. I'm a firekeeper. I tend to the flame and tend to thee. The lords have left their thrones and must be delivered to them.
To this end, I am at thy side.
All right, so
Farewell, Ashen One. May the flames guide thee.
I mean, you can definitely do a lot more with the Firekeeper. You're going to level up using this NPC. For now, I just kind of want to get this this bonfire going. And in the right spot. All right, and with the Firelink bonfire in place, I think I'm going to wrap the stream up here, and I'll probably start another one relatively soon where we go through the rest of the NPCs here that are present now. Maybe we'll go venture back out into that first area that we went through already and finish up the rest of the things that we didn't do. For now, I'm going to say thank you to who has ever watched and whoever commented. Thank you for spending some time here. Hope you have a great rest of your night, and we'll be seeing you relatively soon.